you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Well, I am so excited to have you all here. Welcome to the debut of a brand new branded show called The Roundtable. I'm Robert. It's so nice to be here with you all. It's been 2 months since our last Broadway cast reunion series. My co-host and co-creator of that series, Lee, is somewhere actually in Africa. He's been there for almost 3 weeks, and I've missed everyone so much that we decided to do something brand new. People have been asking for new content and new things to talk about. So this is what you get. You get me. I'm so excited to be here with you right in this special month of December. I was thinking about 2021 earlier today, and I remember 2020 going into 2021 saying, this is going to be the year that things get better. And then we've almost survived this year. And I'm hoping and sending out all good vibes to you all that 2022 maybe is even better and more magical year, and trying to find the silver lining for sure. So welcome to this brand new program. We're going to do 2 a month. And I'm so excited to be here with you because I've missed you so much. I've missed so many of you that have been such avid watchers and followers of this. So thank you for being here. It really means the world to me. So I was thinking, what can we do? What can I do to kind of talk about what's going up? And I realized that so much about me, nobody knows, because we've only done Broadway shows. So I wanted to just do and this show is not about me. This show is about the amazing 5 guests that we have on tonight. But quickly, before we get started, I would like to tell you some of my own guilty pleasures. This is almost my version of David Letterman. So bear with me here. Here we go. Are you ready? Gulp. Watch out. First thing, I'm Jersey all day. That's right. That is Taylor ham, or is it pork roll? Well, it's Taylor ham to me. I am from Jersey. I was talking to the guests earlier. We say things funny. We say dog. We say coffee. And I am repping for Jersey all the time. Secondly, I am a 5th grade school teacher in North Bergen, New Jersey. So today I spent the day with 109 10-year-olds. You want to talk about a restless audience? That's definitely them. No, I am not related to Steve. Thank God I'm not related to Steve Bannon. He is not related to me, but I get asked all the time. That would be terrible. Lastly, I'm the biggest fan of 2 icons, in my opinion. Yes, I love Kermit the Frog, and I'm a proud Fanalo, and I don't care. I love Barry. I grew up wanting to be Barry. And some days I think, aside from selling millions of albums, I'm probably doing a decent job at it. I have a blazer on, so that's a start. And next time, I'll have 5 more weird random facts. We have one more little segment before we get to the guest, which I know is what you're all waiting for. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about, I've been able to see some art and some culture, and we've all been able to, maybe watch some television or movies. So I wanted to keep you posted with a little bit of what I call the Week in Review. Take your time. Well, if that doesn't terrify you through the night of my face just coming right at you. This week, I had the opportunity to head over with my nieces, and we went into Paper Mill Playhouse, and we saw a holiday show that was the celebration of Broadway's Disney. There we are, masked up and ready to go. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Paper Mill. Thank you for having us. It was a beautiful show. And then I actually got to do my own Christmas performance at the Bergen Performing Arts Center last weekend, which I have not been there since I started working there. It was my first job. I worked in the box office. So we got to perform. I called that my Barry Manilow / Liza Minnelli jacket. And James Russian, who plays piano at Freestyle Love Supreme, played with me. And somehow, for some reason, I've gotten hooked up with the Housewives of New Jersey. And I don't know why, because I've never seen an episode of the show, but I appreciate them all. And here's some of them at the show. And then they invited me to go see a show at 54 Below with the Countess Luann. Does anyone know the Countess Luann? Does anyone watch this? You do? Brandon, do you watch this? Can you tell me why it's fascinating? Okay, well, I was with Luann, and here's a clip of the show, in case you want to see what Luann does when she's not on Housewives. Oh, yeah! One more time! Buy it back. Money can't buy it back. It was an event. Fascinating. It was the best people watching I had ever seen in my entire life. So to all the housewife nieces out there, you'll have to comment and let me know because I'm so lost. But that's a whole culture. It's amazing. I had a wonderful time. Anyway, enough about me. That was our week in review. We have some amazing guests here. You know what? Hadestown, Rent, Bat Boy, the musical, Witness Uganda, Little Women, Grey Garden, Natasha, Pierre, and all have in common, they all won the Richard Rodgers Award. And our first guest won them too. And they have a brand new album out that is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And I can't wait to show you a little clip. Here is Amy Jo Jackson and Amber Gray, the title track of this new album, and then the creators, EllaRose Chary. Brandon James Gwinn will be here right at the end of this clip. Take a peek.
You need to understand what you do to me. I'm not just here for you whenever you decide. And don't say that you think you can't get through to me. We used to feel so normal, and now you act so formal.
You need to understand the way it is for me. I can't commit unless this is for real. You hold my hand, ignore all the complexity. We find a new way to begin, then the world comes rushing in.
Why is this so hard for you?
Why is this so hard for you?
To understand where I am coming from. It kills me, we're so out of sync.
It kills me when I start to think,
if only you could see me, we could just go back and be in our own place and time. Oh, stop the minutes ticking on till everything else is gone. Our own place and time. Oh, a pattern that we can't break, a cosmic connection we can't shake.
Yay! I know.
Hi.
Hi, EllaRose Chary, everyone. Brandon James Gwinn, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
How are you doing? How are you surviving this past, I don't know, decade? No, past week. How are you doing?
Ella, take it away.
Yeah, I think we're doing well because we just put out this album that we're really excited about, and it was a lot of work, and it took a lot of time this year from us, and it was. I am getting a little weird feedback.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll try to work on things on my end. Let's
All right.
fix the mic.
I'll keep. We're really excited to get to make this with our friends and to get to do this, and so I'm doing great to have done this album and be here with y'all with this. Brandon?
Well, Brandon, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. It's been a wild year. I think we can all kind of attest to the fact that when we all came out of lockdown that we were like stuck in this weird subterfuge between like trying to get back to the rate at which we were accomplishing things and then questioning whether or not that's a healthy speed to be working at any given time in humanity. And so I think we're all kind of caught in that space. But it still was a really great year for Ella and my collaboration to win the Rodgers, of course, and then to make sure that this album came out before the end of the year, which was a tall order and it took a lot of effort, but we made it happen. We're just happy that it's here this year.
Well, firstly, the album cover is beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
The songs are stunning. I was so enthralled when I got a sneak peek to listen to it when it was sent over by the people handling your publicity, and I listened to it and I just loved the stories within each song. You have quite the all-star lineup. Would you like to tell us about who's joining you on this project?
Yeah. Go for it.
Sure. Well, we really just have wonderful friends who are incredibly talented. We have, tonight you're going to meet Tony Award winner Daisy Eagan, who has been a good friend of mine for a long time. And of course, we have the fabulous Amy Jo Jackson with us tonight as well. Amy Jo, they and Amber Gray from Hadestown, and Natasha Pierre, Tony Award nominee. Those two did a fabulous job on the title track, but we also have 5-time Emmy nominee Titus Burgess on this record. There's Troy Iwata, who is known for Be More Chill on Broadway and Dash and Lily on Netflix. Oh, who else? Broadway's Lisa Umphris, Telly Leung, Hannah Cruz, Dylan Hartwell, Greg Sullivan, Ellen Winter. Who am I leaving out? Sammy Figueredo.
That's where we have Madsy Flynn. We have Broadway's Courtney Bassett on this album also from who's in the comment as well. I mean, it's really every track is just someone who is a powerhouse, and we're lucky that all of them said yes to us. And then the people behind the scenes on the album are all fantastic as well. We have just like such a great team, people who came together to help us do this when we were still trying to figure out. We were just saying, we want to make this album. We want to put these songs on it. We have a song that we think is great for you, and we were lucky that everyone said I'm game to do this with us.
Well, and it paid off, and it's really stunning. Before we bring Amy Jo and Daisy on, can you tell us a little bit about your collaboration? From what I've read through your website and the information I found out, this is not your first project together. You have worked on multiple projects together, and you both have a lot of projects, and your reputation exceeds itself on your own. Brandon, if you are a Drag Race fan, every album that came out, I think Brandon has his hand in work for sure. And
well, not every Drag Race album. There's quite a few,
And I mean, Karen Mason and Daisy, working with her and with Titus and all. And then EllaRose, when I was reading your information, I was so intimidated. You're like Harvard artist resident. Uh-oh, welcome to my trashy little corner of New Jersey. Slumming it for me. How did you guys meet, and how did you guys start collaborating?
I moved to New York to go to graduate school at the Graduate Musical Theater Writing Program at NYU, and I met this wonderful woman who we were in class together because we were in the same year there, and we would drink together at parties, and occasionally we would write a song, usually for class together. But the fun fact is that we weren't actually paired together for your thesis, because in the second year at NYU Graduate Musical Theater Writing, you're paired with someone for the whole year. And Ella and I were paired with other folks and wrote other musicals. But we always loved, when we got to work together. And I ended up thinking of a project that I thought that Ella would write the shit out of. And so I wrote her an email and said that I thought so. And we took that to Ars Nova and became residents for a couple of years. And we've been writing ever since then. And that's, a number of years.
Yeah. I think the thing that's funny about that is that in that time between when we were in school and when we actually started writing in earnest together, people would say to me, "Oh, do you know Brandon? I think that you guys would write something really great together." And I'd say, "Oh, I love Brandon." And of course, we think that too, but we were just looking for the right project to be the thing. We knew we would write something together that was more full length, but we just had to find the right material. And I think it's really a testament to how we work and how we think about our work, that we weren't going to just jump in on anything. We wanted to have the right thing to do. But I will say that some of those songs that we wrote in our early years when we were in class together are songs that have made it onto the album. So,
well, what I've noticed from the album and reading about your other projects is that you seem, and I'm not trying to assume, but you definitely write with a mission and a point of view. You guys are both advocates and trying to get a clear point across. What is the thesis statement? What are you trying to say with this project? What's the impetus behind this project? What should we as the listeners look out for that we should take away from?
Well, this project, I think, much like much of our work together, I think speaks to a real desire to see a diversity of queer joy and queer voices in the musical canon. I think that there's a real queerness to musical theater, little m, little t, the form, the genre, that it attracts people from sort of all stripes of the rainbow. But then when we see the work that's really being behind it and really on our stages and getting a lot of attention in the capital M, capital T musical industry, that's not usually as queer or representative of all of the kinds of queerness that you might find. And I say this as a queer woman in musical theater who often feels a little bit like if you're not a gay man, that's not necessarily for you. And our whole sort of vibe is that we want to be able to tell our own stories, which are not necessarily in that canon, and we want to have our friends have space to tell their stories. I think a thing we reference is that the show that won the Richard Rodgers Award, as you mentioned, is called TLDR, Thelma Louise Remix, and it's a fun, funny, joyous exploration of queer women in media. And that show we were working on with some college students right before everything got postponed or shut down for the pandemic. And those students were so excited by the work that we were doing that of their own volition, they recorded the opening number, which is called Why You Strong Female Characters Always Gotta Die. They recorded that number themselves and put it online with our permission, but we didn't say you should do this. They just wanted to share this thing they've been working on that they didn't get a chance to share. And because that was a moment, the fact that we wrote this thing and then for them it became a moment of expression of what they wanted to say, that's kind of like at the heart of what I feel like we're doing, is we're really trying to create that space. And so that's my take.
Well, that's what's so moving to me. There should be space for everyone, and sadly there isn't. And you guys are out there fighting the fight on the front line to represent voices that are not heard. So thank you for a whole community of people, truly, that you guys are putting your foot forward to make a difference in this genre that we all love. So we all love musical theater and music. That's why we're here. And I think we all just wish it was a little bit more fair. So thank you so much for the work you guys are doing, truly. If you stream it, it's streaming everywhere. If you stream it, I promise you're going to fall in love with the melodies and the lyrics and the stories that they're telling and the voices. And speaking of voices, two of the best, Amy Jo and Daisy can sing. They can sing, and they're here with us right now. Please welcome Amy Jo Jackson and Tony winner Daisy Eagan. Hey, nice to see you.
Hi, look, we're twinsies.
I know, we're ready for our non-binary sideshow.
Yeah.
I am here for it. I'm ready. Daisy, nice to see you again. How are you?
I'm good. Today's been a day, but I'm good. And I'm here, so that's a win, isn't it?
Thank you for being here. I hope you're hanging
My
in there.
pleasure.
Are you out in California still?
I am. Hopefully not for too much longer though, because I think I've run out of reasons to like it here. So I'm trying to come back east.
Come on back. Come on.
I'm trying.
And Amy Jo, welcome. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I had told you beforehand that some of my musical theater writer friends freaked out about Amy Jo Jackson being on the show. Or just tearing up this whole entire musical theater and cabaret scene. Before we talk about how you guys are connected, can I just ask you each a question about what's been going on? I want to just ask Daisy, prenuptials on the Instagram and the TikTok and how did this come about, and how did I fall in a rabbit hole of the whole watching you ready to take a nap, telling us your random thoughts?
It's so funny because I think it was a couple things. I have a friend, Scott Evan Davis, who does these little random thoughts every day, and they're just so random, but they're fun. And so I had that in my mind, and then there was this really great video somebody sent me, somebody who knows that I love to nap, of this woman singing, "Go lay down. I'm gonna go lay down." And I was like, oh, napping it's so good and important for everybody. So I just thought I would share whatever little nugget was on my mind each day before I napped. Who knew that was going to be the thing that would get people's attention? So random.
It was so much fun. Well, I know we've seen, and then of course we can't remiss to not just show this picture that I'm sure has haunted you your whole life, but there you are. There is your Tony Award winning speech.
There I am with those shoulders.
And
Do you still have the dress?
The sleeves. I do. It is the only dress that I own anymore.
Wow. That is a fun fact. I love that.
That is the funnest fact.
I got rid of all of my dresses and skirts, and then I recently had this situation with an audition where they heard my pronouns and they were like, "Oh, can they be feminine?" So I had to like go rush to the mall and like find something femme for the callback. I managed to do it without a skirt.
But Daisy, I was gonna say you could have just shown up in that dress. That would
if
Do you
only
know
I
what the
could.
queerest thing I've heard today is? Daisy Eagan no longer owns dresses except for the one they wanted Tony in.
The one dress.
That's the on brand level of queer that we're going for.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
It would probably fit my son at this point.
Well,
Send me
Chloe?
pictures after this is
And Amy Jo, can you tell us, please, as someone who is not cool enough to know, and I'm being honest, I want to know because now I've heard about it 100 times from everyone that is too cool. What is hatchetation? And tell me how we can see it, watch it.
Oh, wow. I'm glad that 100 whole people know about it because it is the musical that I've been writing. Daisy's actually been in a couple of incarnations of it. But yeah, it's a full-length musical about the temperance activist Carrie A. Nation, who lived in Kansas at the turn of the last century and was very irritated with the lack of prohibition enforcement. Kansas was a dry state at the time. So she grabbed a hatchet and started going into bars herself to break everything apart. She was 54 at the time. And I thought, that sings. So it's 10 actors, no cis men, zany and anachronistic. And you know, I was very fortunate. I had a reading earlier this summer at the O'Neill that Daisy was in. And, you know, we continue to work and develop it. It turns out writing music takes a long time, especially when you're a control freak and are doing all of it.
Well,
It's really good.
it takes a long time even when you do it with other people. Take heart in that it's not.
I do.
Amy Jo, I can't wait, and congratulations. Only the best is coming your way for sure with this. It sounds like a blast. Speaking of time, EllaRose and Brandon, how long does it take for you guys to work on these projects? How long did Place and Time, for example, take?
Well, that's the wrong project to ask about, I think, because I'm pretty sure we sat down earlier this year and decided to make it, and then by the skin of our teeth, it came out on December 3rd. And it was really kind of a small miracle that it did.
Let's be really clear that when we sat down to decide to make this album, all of the songs that are on this album, most of them had already been written.
Okay.
And I will say that if you ask us how long it took to write the songs that are on the album is a different answer than the question of how long did it take us to yes, we actually make the album when we sat down and we said, we're going to record these songs that we have and do it. That still is incredibly fast that it was all in 1 year. It should have taken longer, but Brandon is a wizard and our producer, sound and P is also a wizard, and the two of them turned this around. And also our singers were heroic in making themselves available on a pretty short timeline. So it happened fast, but the songs we've been writing, I mean, some of the songs we made small edits to, like Place and Time that Amy Jo sang for us. We were changing that this summer before they got into the studio. And then some songs we wrote, as we said, when we were in grad school. And so they kind of run the gamut of that.
Well, we have some pictures of you in the recording process with some of the people. Oh. Here's some shots of you guys recording.
There's Titus. And that first picture featured Kimberly, our friend and co-producer, Kimberly Hyacinth.
Yeah.
And
who would not, this album wouldn't exist without her help. So yeah.
So you
There's
guys,
Amy,
and there's
Joe.
Amy Jo, and so you were in
Those
the
are
thick of
candid
it.
because my hair was in work mode and not, you know.
It does
Do
look
you-
terrific.
EllaRose, do you call this project, is it a song cycle? Is it attached to a musical? Are they just songs that live independently on their own? How should we listen to this project?
And that's a great question. I think how we think about it on its own is that these are songs that are on a sort of theme that we were talking about before, about finding the sort of richness of the queer canon and the richness of the experiences that these characters who are from a variety of places can have, and that they're not about trauma, they're not about otherness, they're not about how hard it is to be queer or even what it means to be queer, any of that, but all of the characters have a queerness about them. And so that's kind of the central organizing theme of this. But some of the songs are from a musical we wrote called Queer People Time. Some of them are standalones that are songs that we really wanted to have see the light of day that would probably not have had we not put them on this album. We very intentionally didn't put any songs from TLDR on this album because that is a separate piece and we really wanted that to exist as its thing, and this is something else. And there's a song on here that we wrote for my best friend and her husband for their wedding, the one that Titus sings. That's also, so there's just kind of a variety of things.
And then the bonus soundtrack, all the songs from How to Survive the End of the World, which was a musical we wrote during the pandemic for YouTube. We got to go back into the studio and make like really shiny, pretty versions of those songs that were recorded during the pandemic on whatever equipment the actors had,
Right. So the last 4 songs of the album are a sound cast recording of that.
Well, if you are a musical theater fan or a music fan in general, there's something on it definitely for everyone. And Daisy, I have to say, The Gal Who Gets the Gig, the song that is a blast, and you are acting and singing your face off.
Thank you.
Doing it.
It's a funny story. Brandon, I've known Brandon for 10 years now?
No, we were 12 when we met.
Yeah.
No, it's been longer than 10
I
years
was a
now.
fetus. I guess so. How did we meet? Anyway, we met.
I know when we met. We met in one of my first apartments in New York because I was music directing Night of 1,000 Judies.
Yes.
And you came in to sing the trolley song. Mm-hmm.
And Brandon knows that I survive on a diet of like coffee and self-doubt. So Brandon's always the one who's like, "You're great, you're great." And I'm like, well,
let's not be hyperbolic.
And I had sung for Brandon and EllaRose at, what was that, 54 Below? We did a concert and it was so much fun, and I just love them both so much. And thank you. They asked me to sing on this, and of course I was like, no, you don't. And Brandon told me, to shut up and to put my big kid pants on and do it. And I actually, because I'm in LA, I recorded it literally right here. I'm like in my bedroom / office. And we did it on like a Sunday morning or something. And
yeah, we actually haven't been in the same room together in a handful of years now, thanks to the pandemic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to record that one remotely, and through the miracle of post, we got it on the album.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I'm sure my neighbors were not pleased, but it was.
It's the growl on the last note for me, really.
Yes, yes. Well, if you listen to it, I've been playing it, and it's such a catchy melody that it's been in my head all day long. And your voice sounds so beautiful on it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Amy Jo, how did you come about this project? And would you like to tell us a little bit about the song that you sung on and how that all happened?
Sure. Well, it happened because they asked me to, and I love doing anything with these two. I was trying to think back. I'm wondering if it was like a Prospect Musical Theater Lab was where EllaRose and I met, like a By the Numbers.
Yeah.
It was like a Phyllis Schlafly.
Yeah, it was. It was It was the night. My number was 7, and it was the 1977 Women's Convention.
Yes.
I wrote a short musical from the perspective of the assistants of the famous women. It was like
Right.
thing. And were you Phyllis Schlafly's assistant?
I think yes. I think I was like, I wasn't Phyllis Schlafly,
No,
but
no,
I was
because
her assistant.
it was Phyllis Schlafly's assistant, Coretta Scott King's assistant, and somebody else's assistant who I can't remember. And then there was also like a young Hillary Clinton at the
Yeah.
it was a whole.
Man.
It was a real
all coming back to
this is an American moment that was happening, but this was a long time ago. But yeah, you were that's where we met, and
that's where we met. And then you all brought me on for, was it a drama league?
Dramatist Guild.
Dramatist Guild. See, those two, I just show up and I sing what people tell me to sing.
Right.
But we met because of the New York Theater Barn originally, I think.
Oh my God! At that, yes. Oh, that was.
I think weren't you in Small Town Story at one point?
But just in a reading, we were in like a conference room looking over Manhattan from the east side, and we were all like, "We are above our pay grade in this conference room."
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we've all the three of us have sort of intermingled. I don't know. There's a word there that I did not find. Crossed paths.
You're a creator.
I think that the Dramatist Guild was queer people time.
It was indeed,
and I sang like a Bette Midler in the Bath style number.
You sang
so
the
fun.
song that was the precursor song to the one, like now the song that Daisy sings on the album. That song now occupies that spot in Queer People Time. But the song that you sang, what was that song like? It wasn't that song. It was whatever version went in that spot, like 7 versions ago. Like I don't even know. Like it was a very.
It's a trunk song now, and How He Gets the Gig replaced it in that song moment. Yeah, right. Which is kind of full circle right now, and not something we intended to.
I didn't think about it until now that I made that, but indeed that was the evolution of that.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, the title track that Amy Jo and Amber sing on, it is hauntingly gorgeous, and those voices together, and the way that the orchestrations of that song are, it is haunting. It is beautiful. It is truly beautiful.
Thank you.
It is really exciting to me on my soapbox to talk to people in musical theater who are writing original works that are not, no shade, based on a movie or a jukebox musical, that are writing original. There's so many original works and so many stories that need to be told. So it's so wonderful to see you both and Daisy and Amy Jo like being a part of something to tell original music and hear original stories. What would, in a perfect world, is this an album for everyone? Do you feel like it's for a certain group of people? Like, do you think is this everyone just come and listen? What are you? I mean, obviously you write music for everyone to hear, but Brandon, is this album is for who?
Oh wow. I think that we kind of looked around, Ella and myself, and noticed that there really wasn't access to our work and our philosophies that wasn't in like a demo format, that you didn't have to have access to us in the industry to be able to find. So we really wanted to put some of our songs that we love, that we've written, and our philosophies out there for the world at large. And I think that, I think it really is for everyone. I think that that's kind of our mission, is to start with the community and talk to the community and talk about the community in ways that we think need to be aired, and just kind of that's because that's what that's what we create. But I really think it's for everyone. I think that there's something universal, like the more specific, and Ella says something about this recently, and maybe she'll jump on after I've done saying this like jumbled thought. But I think that the more specific and the more character driven, and in our case queer thing something gets, the more universal it actually becomes. The truth of it actually is there for everybody.
Right. And I think that I just would add to that, I don't know what Brandon was referencing, but I think what you said was beautiful. But
You said something brilliant. It must have been a Tuesday. It's a thing that happens a lot.
I think that the thing I would say too, just to speak about that audience, is that I grew up in Indiana, and I grew up in Gary, Indiana, so close to Chicago, but not in a family that could afford to go to the theater all the time. I mean, we go sometimes, but and my main way into musical theater and the genre very much were tapes and CDs and streamed music and cast recordings, and that being able to have something that was affordable and accessible and that could help introduce me to like different characters, different stories, that was really important to me until I mean, even now still, but until I moved to New York, to have that sort of reach. And I always have felt like a thing that's really special about musicals is that you can have that recording of the music, and that can have a broader reach than just the location of where the theater is. And so for us to release something that is not just for people who live in New York, or not just people who can afford a ticket to a 54 Below and also the drink minimum, right? Like there's a lot of barriers to entry to theater, I think, sometimes, and also I think for people who want to find something that speaks to them specifically, like Brandon's saying about their own experience, if they share the experience of what we're writing about or the folks we're singing. So yeah, I think it's for those folks.
Absolutely. Well, I know in real life, I teach 5th grade, and I know that representation really matters. So thank you because there's a lot of students who have come out to me or reached out to me about my own journey and my own personal story to connect as they get older, and they're looking for people to look up to and their stories and voices to be heard. So I know that the work that all of you are doing is literally helping shape and change lives. And that is about, you guys are giving the best gift that can be. And I hope you all realize that is really what you are doing. So from my heart and everyone else out there who is enjoying your work, I can't wait to see what's next. The best is truly yet to come for all of you. So
thanks.
Ready. I'm so ready. So tell us, we could stream it everywhere, right? It's streaming everywhere.
Indeed.
It's streaming everywhere. So
anywhere you get your music, you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're having trouble, BrandonandElla.com.
Yes.
There you go. There's the cover. It's beautiful. If you're at Apple, Spotify, wherever you are, just
everywhere.
Stream it. Find the one that pays the artist the most and just get that one.
I know which ones those are, but I probably shouldn't say them on the air.
I also just want to
say, message me on Instagram and I'll tell you.
You keep saying how beautiful the album art is, and I just want to say that Brandon designed that art.
Aww.
Brandon.
Multi-hype Brandon.
Brandon.
Well, it saved $1. We were on a budge, you know what I mean? And Robert, sometime like message me and I'll tell you my Countess Luann story. I definitely was almost on the show because I interviewed to be her music director. So I've been in her apartment, just saying.
I'm dead. You're getting a message at the end of this for sure. I watched that whole hour like everyone is having a great time. It's an interesting experience. God bless her. I loved it. We're going to keep listening. We're going to spread the word about all of your work. Daisy, it's always good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Likewise, Daisy and Amy Jo. It's always
Amy
good to
Jo,
see you.
all our stars. We'll see you all real soon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thanks.
How amazing was all of that? They are all such talented and beautiful people. So thank you for original work. And speaking of original work, there's an original new Christmas song that I heard and saw, and it took me out because speaking of representation, everyone deserves a Christmas song too, no matter where you live, who you love, and what your life and situation is. And Loren Smith just so happened to have written one that kind of includes everyone. So here, take a peek at this, and when it's over, Loren Smith will be here live.
Flying to the East Coast
to meet your folks, stuck in the middle seat. I overreact and I overpacked, but somehow you keep loving me. Feeling insecure, but you reassure me that your mom will love me. But dad's a different story, and I worry about what he'll think of me. Every love that I remember never made it to December, start of something new. You're bringing me home with you. Our first Christmas, to see where you grew up, to see what made you you. Our first Christmas, to meet who raised you up, in hope that they will love me too. To watch the lights glisten, start a new tradition we'll always come back to. My first Christmas at home with you. Huddled in the backseat of a taxi, snow on the ground, talking about the fact that I'm the first guy that you brought around. Cause you were supposed to marry high school sweetheart, little Miss Small Town. But I'm so proud you're brave enough to show them who you are now.
And there he is. Ooh, that was a wild ending there. Hello there. Loren Smith is here. He is live. Hi, Loren.
Hey. Thanks for having me. Can you hear me okay?
We could hear you okay. We see you okay. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations on episode 1 of Roundtable. Not the pizza, the show.
I love it. Well, it's when we were doing Quarantine Cabaret and Cocktails, everyone that knows you, that happens to be a mutual friend of mine, was like, what we need, Loren. You're like the most requested person to be on our show.
Oh, wow. That's pressure for that ass.
Okay. No. There's no pressure. Not here. Not at all. Before we get into all of the holiday goodness that is you, I have a couple of questions about where Loren Smith is, who, what, when, where, why, and how. This is what I know. You're from Oakland, California. You have a legendary musical family that is very prominent and prevalent in gospel music in the Bay Area and in California and the country. And I know that little Loren Smith started singing at a very young age. That's true?
True that. Ironically, the very first solo was 3 years old, and I sang Go Tell It on the Mountain, which is also track 1 of this new Christmas EP, Loren Smith, Christmas from My Heart to Yours, available online everywhere.
You must have done this before. That wasn't a plug. That was smooth as could be. Wait, so but Go Tell It on a Mountain.
Yeah, in a high key.
Yes, in the key of
Robert Bannon.
No.
Everybody, if you ever hear Robert Bannon sing, he has this warm, round voice, and he doesn't like to let everybody know that he sings higher notes. He sings up here. Everybody else is down here.
No, he's not. Well, it's a gorgeous arrangement, but it's a mashup on the album. It starts the album and it's a mashup.
Yeah.
Tell us, what is it?
It starts with Joy Tell It on the Mountain. It starts with Joy to the World, and then it goes into Go Tell It on the Mountain. So I call it Joy to the Mountain, and I feel like it's just one of those songs. It's like, hey, wake up. There's a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot of things to celebrate, and there's a lot of joy to spread around. And I mean that. Joy to the world. There is so much that the world needs, but starting with joy, starting with love first, but it definitely trickles down into joy too.
Well, firstly, I'm going to get back to your history in a second, but when this first launched, that first song comes on, it will blow your mind. It's amazing. Like literally, you need to go find it, listen to it. The vocals are pristine. Your choices are amazing. Everyone that you have followed and watched, your family, the people you have loved and emulated, and your own style, and everything just comes flying out. I say that Loren Smith is like the 8th wonder of the world vocally. He does things that people wish that they surely can do. We've seen a lot of you lately, Loren Smith, all over the television.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I'm going to put up a picture, and you tell us what's going on in this picture, please.
Oh, okay.
What is going on here?
This is when I was on an episode of Cops. What happens is there are policemen that come forward. This is the Jimmy Kimmel Show. I got a call with some of these wonderful, beautiful, incredible singers, and we do a segment called the Silver Lining Singers. And what happens is Jimmy reads a story that is just going on in the world, and we try to provide a comedic take on it and sing about it just to give us all a little bit of levity in this heavy, heavy season. But I love it there. It's a great, great staff. Jimmy's great. The music, everything. It's just, it's a dream. I really love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, it's hysterical, and you're Santa in a rat and a Santa hat, and all you have to watch. Find it on YouTube. We're not showing a clip because I'm not trying to. I don't need a cease and desist letter on episode 1. The second picture that maybe we've recognized you from lately. What is going on? He's going to kill me for this. What is going on in this picture?
Okay, so I work security. No, this is Michael Bublé, Christmas in the City. We just did that in New York for NBC. I've had the privilege of working for the Bublé for about 5 years now, and he's a delight. It really is a joy. It really is a joy. I've learned so much, and that question I get asked the most is people always say, well, what is he like? What is he like in real life? What you see is what you get. He's very kind. He's very considerate. He's hilarious. He's off the cuff. He's honest to a fault. He's an incredible human being.
And you were quite the star and scene stealer there. You jumped off of the TV screen, and your work there was brilliant. Yes. Has anyone, if you're watching right now, did you see it? Tell us what you thought. And did you catch Loren? You did not hide. We were there.
Mm-hmm. No, I just like to blend into whatever surroundings. Just it's camouflage. I'm very understated as a human being and as a vocalist, but I'm trying to do something differently with that now, since I have this incredible Christmas project. What's it called? It's called Loren Smith, Christmas from My Heart to Yours, available online everywhere.
There you go. I've got you covered.
Hey.
So you can stream it everywhere and anywhere. And now my question to you is, how did it come about?
Oh, wonderful question. This was something I've been thinking about doing for a while. And I had songs here and there that I thought, okay, we can put this together and put something out that's going to really hopefully just throw some good stuff in people's hearts, and hopefully cherish and capture some good memories from not just this Christmas, but for many Christmases to come. So I reached out to my friend Eric Curtis, who is an incredible bass player, songwriter, composer, producer. I said songwriter and composer, forgive me for that. But he's worked with Shakira, and he's also on the Bublé team and done David Foster, and incredible, incredible person. So we got together to songwrite, and he said, and I brought this up-tempo song that I wanted to do. I was like, this is going to be great. It's up-tempo. It's it's almost like a Stevie Wonder vibe. We're going to be great. So let's get together and write it. So we sat down, and I said, okay, Eric, let me tell you about the song. And he said, before we do that, I have an idea for a song, and you're the only person that can sing it. And I said, what? But he told me his idea for the song, and then we sat down and we wrote Our First Christmas. And once Our First Christmas kind of came about, everything else really started to fall into place. I like to continue to create and make things as often as I can, but it was great to have the anchor of Our First Christmas to go, okay, we've got this song, and now we can add some things to it. So 6-song EP and 19 minutes long from top to bottom, and hopefully you get in and you get out and you remember all of the joy and all the feels from it.
And Our First Christmas, from the video to the lyrics, it's a beautiful story. You're telling a story. And as we were speaking to the other guests earlier, everyone deserves their story to be told. So I know there's a lot of people out there who are waiting for this holiday, and you're giving everyone the opportunity to be included in all the magic merriment moments. So I'm sure lots of people are very appreciative of that for sure. What other songs are on the album?
We have Joy to the World, to the Mountains, and then it's Angels We Have Heard on High, which was arranged incredibly by the incomparable pianist Alan Chang, who also did a wonderful solo on that. And then there's No Eye Had Seen, featuring, vocal giant, Mr. Drew Tablak. If you don't know who he is, please check him out. Beautiful voice. He's a countertenor. And so we did this 2-person, 12-part a cappella vocal piece together. Please don't miss that. And then there's Deck the Halls, gospel arrangement of Deck the Halls, gospel funk arrangement of Deck the Halls, Oh Holy Night. And then there's one more song on there that I don't recall, but it's there.
Well, people are writing about the great job you did. Adrian says, Angels We Have Heard on High made her cry.
Thank you.
It is a jazzy, crunchy. Someone wrote me back when I posted the album and said, I didn't know Angels We Have Heard on High could be sexy. It's a sexy version, but you are definitely giving there's a vibe, and Alan is a piano genius. So your voice and his piano playing definitely makes for some magical moments.
Thank you.
Here's the cover, everyone, that when you go and stream it, there it is. Christmas from My Heart to Yours. That is you. And what you have not written just that song, you have written other music. What is your process about songwriting? If you would like to listen to his other songs, Break Free, Beautiful Smile, Always Remember, Can't Wait. I've been a fan of Loren Smith Experience. Can you tell what is your process about writing a song?
Great question. Usually it starts with a feeling for me. I know I can talk about Always Remember. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit deep, so stay with me, fam. My apologies, everyone. Always Remember was a song I wrote for suicide prevention, and I was watching a special about suicide, and it breaks my heart as somebody that has grown up feeling like an outsider, feeling like another, feeling like I was alone. That's something that resonates very deeply with me, and I always want to make sure I'm putting out art that encourages and that hopefully uplifts. Hopefully you'll hear a song that goes, I never thought about it that way. That's important to me. But even with Always Remember, this special went off, and I was watching this thing, and I was just heap of tears crying. And then this feeling just came, what do I want to say? And I'll never forget, I just stood up, I walked right over to my computer and keyboard and just pressed record and started just pouring out. Like, what do you want to say? What is it you want to say to people? And that's where that came from. And Break Free was the same way. Break Free was very much a song that was like, hey, I am having the worst day, but I am aware of the fact that I can choose to focus on something different. I don't have to just focus on what has me weighed down. And so that's where that song came from too. So I think it's always me just basically, the majority of my songs are just me going, hey, this is going to get better. Don't look at it that way. Look at it this way. And that's always the goal.
Isn't that the important thing? All about our perspective. Yes, our perspective.
Yeah, perspectives change everything. I really try to remember, one of my biggest mantras is everything is working out for my highest good. So I'm sending that out to you, whoever it is listening. Whatever is happening in your life, choose to believe that your best days are ahead, and every single piece of it, every bit of it is working out for your highest good.
Well, I would like to say that as a singer, you are the singer because you do the things that and I know that you have a huge fan base of performers and singers out there. Is there something that you wish you could have told you while you were in school? You went to school for music. I know you've studied music. What is your biggest takeaway that you've learned in this industry and in music that you would like to give to the people watching right now?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is some of the best advice I got. Somebody gave me this advice when it came to singing, but I feel like it transcends even to just everyday life. What comes from the heart goes to the heart. So always sing from your heart, always live from a place of honesty, of sincerity, of genuine concern, of genuine care. And it's not always easy. It's not always fun, but you can go to sleep at night knowing that you did your best. You weren't malintentioned or anything like that. But I definitely take that when it comes to my music, anytime I sing, anytime I try to create art, but even as I try to interact with the day, is what comes from the heart goes to the heart. So keep on living and rocking from your heart. Speaking of heart, my album Christmas, From My Heart to Yours, is available everywhere.
There it is. There it is. There it is. It's right there. You can listen to it now. It's streaming everywhere, like he said. So Amazon, Spotify, Tidal, I'm trying to think, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music. And please share that music video and share the music to people who need to hear that message, especially this holiday season. Loren, happy holidays. Your music is going to make a lot of people very happy this season. So thank you for that hard work. And I'm sure we will all be seeing a lot more of you out there on the road and in the world in the year 2022.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. You can follow Loren at Saying Loren Smith on Instagram and on Facebook and all the social medias and stream that album. And we will see you real soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Take care, everybody.
Well, everyone, we have made it through the first of, I guess, many, maybe. Thank you for joining me. We'll be back January 6th. January 6th with a Viva Las Vegas special, everyone. We're coming back and we're doing a special with a bunch of Vegas acts, and we're going to be back on January 6th. So you're going to go enjoy your holiday. I'm going to go enjoy my holiday, hopefully safely and healthily all together. I feel like last year the holidays were kind of canceled, and this year it's getting a little scary again too. So let's all try to continue to be safe and wear masks and be safe and socially distant and get tested so that we can enjoy our families this year. For sure. Join me January 6th. I'll tell you all about the guests. They're scandalous. The guests are scandalous. January 6th. Thank you to Loren Smith. Stream his album now. Thank you to Ella, Brandon, Daisy, and Amy Jo, and stream their album Place and Time as well. New York City, April 16th. I'm doing my one-man show. I'll be at Green Room 42. So if you want to get your tickets before I post it and it's everywhere and sells out in moments, go to robertbannon.com. You can get your tickets. And I have my own album if you're interested. It's called Unfinished Business, and it's also streaming everywhere. So listen, that's 3 albums you could be listening to all the way into 2022. So there's plenty of great music. Support an artist today for sure. This means so much to me. If you have a guest suggestion, please comment below because we'll be booking the show for the next couple of months. We're going to do 2 of them a month. So I'll be back January 6th. I have a special show the end of the month, and we have tons of ideas. But if you have someone or something specific, I'd love to know. We're just getting started. So join me, share, comment, like, and I hope we grow and continue to get to meet together because I've missed you so much. As I say goodnight, I just want to say thank you for all the love and support you guys have shown me over the past few years. I wish I could make you feel the way you make me feel. It means from the bottom of my heart that you make my dreams come true over and over again. So thank you for being here with me tonight. I got to perform on Sunday night back at home in New Jersey, and here's a little clip of that for me to say happy holidays, happy new year, God bless you, and I will see you January 6th.
Tonight the stars shine for the children. Tonight their joy rings through the air. And so we send our tender blessings to all the children everywhere. To see the smiles and hear the laughter, a time to give, a time to share, because it's Christmas for now and forever, for all of the children and for the children. so much. I'll see you all real soon. Good night.